12. Let's jump into this thing. We should know it well by now, right? The question is not do we know it, but are we living it? That's the trick. That's the trick, right? Not crawling off the altar? Anybody crawling off the altar? A little bit? All right, you starting to find those moments where you go, ooh, I think I just crawled off the altar right there. I better get my butt back on there. All right, why? What is it? Because look what it says in Romans 12, verse 1. I exhort you, therefore, brothers. I exhort you. I sit down with you. I sit across from you, parakaleo. All right? You and I have a conversation, and I'm begging you. I'm pleading. I'm begging with you. I'm pleading, therefore, brothers, through the compassions, the mercies of God. Not because God is merciful, but because he has demonstrated these mercies. He's demonstrated this love. All right? And I'm begging you to do what? To present your bodies. How much of your bodies? 1 day a week? Everything, head to toes, all right? Everything you got, present all of yourself as a what? A living sacrifice, all right? Which means what? I get to sacrifice myself for the honor and glory of my Savior, and then what do I get to do tomorrow? Do it all again, all right? I get to do it again. I get the joy and the pleasure and the honor of doing it again and again and again and again until God says, all right, that's enough. You're good. Come on home, all right? And that's the life of a Christian right there, all right? So if you want to boil this down, what does it mean to be a Christian? It means I get to honor Christ, my Savior, over and over and over and over again until God says, come on home, and then I get to go up there and be in his presence, all right? Which will have very little difference between the person who's really serving Christ in that way and what reality is going to be like, all right? There are some of y'all are going to scoot into heaven barely on a string, and you're going to be like, wow, this is awesome up here. And the rest of us are going to be like, it's just another day. It's just another day, because we've learned that being a living sacrifice is where true joy is found, where true pleasure is being found, all right? So I'm begging you, through the mercies of God, the multiple plural mercies of God, namely that cross, all right, to present my body as a living sacrifice, holy. What does that mean? Other, different. You ain't right. Something different about you, all right? There's something completely holy, other, all right? It doesn't mean I don't do anything wrong. Holy means, it's the Greek word hagios. It literally means that's normal, everything, life here, and this is you. All right? So if you walk around and people go, wow, you're just like everybody else around here. You're just exactly like everybody else. Something's wrong. You are not being a living sacrifice if you're just like everybody else. One of my favorite artists, Nate Sally, has a song called Ruined for Ordinary. That I've been ruined for the ordinary because of the cross of Christ. I love that thought because I want to be other. I want to be different. I want people to go look at me and go, you're not like everybody else in the room, all right? And when you achieve that, now you know you're living the life that Christ desires. Why? Because it's well-pleasing. Well-pleasing, and on top of that, it's what? It's your logical response to that cross. Are you kidding me? When did we come up with this idea of, yeah, in light of the cross, let's meet in a building once a week for about an hour. If we go over an hour, let's complain, all right? And then, we'll show up again next week. And that's enough, right? We'll live just like the world. We'll talk just like the world. We'll act just like the world. But we'll walk into a building for that 1 hour and kind of sing the song and do the dance and all that stuff, but then let's go right back out. That's not logical. In light of that cross, when you understand the beauty of that cross and the mercy that was given at that cross, you cannot logically live a boring Christian life. And that's what I've been challenging with you guys with over and over and over, because it's not logical. Verse 2 says what? And do not be conformed. Again, this is that holy idea, the other idea. Don't be it's the Greek word suschema, with the scheme of this age. The scheme of this age is to do what everybody else does, to dress like everybody else dresses, to talk like everybody else talks, to use the same phrases, to pass along the same memes on Facebook that everybody else passes along, all right? No. We don't want to follow into that scheme, but we want to be transformed. Metamorphosis literally is the word here in the Greek, all right? Metamorpho. It means to be changed in your form. And how do we accomplish that? This is the key. This is the guts of Christianity, of how you live this thing out every day. We want to be changed, metamorpho. How? By the renewing of our minds. Because your faith today is not enough for the challenges you will have tomorrow. You hear me? Your faith today is not enough for the challenges you will face in 36 hours. You have got to renew your mind every single day to the beauty of that cross, to the love of God, and to the obligation you have in this logical fashion to worship God with everything you got, and then get up tomorrow and do it all again. All right? Because this will do what? It'll prove the good, the pleasing, and the perfect will of God, the mature will of God. When you live this way, you will demonstrate to the world what it looks like to be perfected, matured. All right? Again, that doesn't mean you get everything right on a test, perfect. It means there's nothing left. You'll get to the end of your day and you go, what? You know what? As I renewed my mind, as I presented myself all day long as a living sacrifice, I left nothing on the table. There's nothing I would have done different today because I achieved everything. I found that perfect, matured will of God. And that's what a living sacrifice does. So let's jump down here. 3 through 8 talks about your giftings. Then pick up in 9. We get this: love must be without hypocrisy, detest evil, cling to what is good. 10, show family affection to one another with brotherly love. Outdo one another in showing honor. 11, do not lack diligence, be fervent in spirit, serve the Lord. 12, rejoice in hope, be patient in affliction, be persistent in prayer. 13, share with the saints in their needs, pursue hospitality, boring translation, you should know the better translation, chase down strangers and love on them, which is a lot more fun than pursuing hospitality. All right, you see how boring that is? All right, 14, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse, which I from what I understand, some of y'all fell off the altar on that one. I'm just saying, all right? Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. That's a tough one right there. We want to play nice. We put on our church face and we do that, but down deep inside, do we really? That's a challenge. 16, be in agreement with one another. Do not be proud. Instead, associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own estimation. And today's text, 17 and 18, do not repay anyone evil for evil, KAKOS for KAKOS. Try to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. If possible on your part, live at peace with everyone, okay? Now, here's what I've been kind of toying with in the text in my mind. We keep getting what I'll call a triad, all right? Triad means it has how many parts? You smart people. 3, okay? So there's a couple of these in 11. Look at 11. Do not lack diligence, be fervent in spirit, serve the Lord. All right? In 12, rejoice in hope, be patient in affliction, be persistent in prayer. 16, be in agreement with one another, do not be proud, instead associate with the humble, do not be wise in your own estimation. And as I'm looking at these, and as I've been studying, I keep toying with the idea of flipping these and turning them upside down. And we did it. I think the most obvious one is in 11. Because in 11, the last phrase, serve the Lord, it literally means to be the Lord's slave. So I wake up in the morning, renew my mind to the beauty of that cross, and go, all right, today I'm the Lord's slave, all right? And whatever the Lord tells me to do, whatever the Lord inspires me to do, that is who I am and that is who I will be. So I am now fervent in spirit. See what I'm doing with the triad? I'm going backwards. I'm fervent in spirit, so I'm locked in. I know my identity. I'm going out. I'm excited about what the day is going to hold, all right? And then the third phrase is, do not lack diligence. In other words, when the moment arrives, don't hesitate. So we have this sort of progression of, I want to wake up, prepare myself, understand my identity. I know who I am. Now I'm excited about the day, and I see an opportunity, and it's like, boom, no hesitation, I'm rolling. And I think we see this triad 3 or 4 times, like I said. 12 has it. So if you're persistent in prayer, does that help you to be patient in affliction? If you woke up that morning and persistently prayed, you were devoted to prayer, and you faced affliction that day, and now are you prepared? And are you prepared to rejoice in the hope that you have in the spite of that? Okay? And last week we looked at the same thing. But I want us to go through this text and kind of see, and even we'll kind of backload this thing like I just talked about. But let's look at this first phrase. Do not repay anyone evil for evil, all right? And that's the word KAKOS. We use this phrase a lot because I like this phrase because I think it's very illustrative of who we are a lot of times, okay? Because KAKOS is literally this idea, you're just mean, horrible person, all right? You just are inflicting harm for the sake of inflicting harm. You just want to hurt somebody that day. And you just don't care enough about anybody else to stop yourself from saying that thing, from doing that thing, from being that horrible human being, okay? Now, I know none of you know anyone like that, right? Right? You're sitting here going, what's he even talking about? No one does that, right? No one would inflict KAKOS, harm, on someone just for the sake of it, all right? Now, the opposite of it is the word KALOS, K-A-L-O-S, all right? KALOS, when the woman anoints Jesus' feet and the disciples throw a hissy fit and go, we should have given it to the poor. And Jesus goes, oh, no. What she just did for me was KALOS. It was so excellent. It was beautiful. It was the most amazing thing that she could have done in this moment. And this was so awesome. How do you guys miss it? Now, you may know people like that in your life, who every time they walk in the door, you just are blessed. You are encouraged. They make you feel good about yourself. They always ask you, have you lost weight? All right? They say, you've been working out, haven't you? Yes, I have. All right? And you just cling to those people because everything they do makes you feel good about yourself, makes you encouraged, literally gives you courage to be somebody more than you are. All right? And so when he talks about this and when Paul writes this, he says what? Do not repay. It literally means the word to give back or to give away, and it's give to no one. All right, little difference in the text. You see what I'm saying? Do not repay anyone evil for evil. The text is actually saying give to no one. No one, not anyone gets KAKOS from you. Even those who gave you KAKOS in the first place. Piece of cake, right? We crawling off that altar. I can feel y'all. I'm gotta duct tape y'all down on the altar on this one. When someone purposefully, deliberately chooses to show harm to you with their words, with their actions, with anything they got, and they want to harm you, that's this word. This is that word KAKOS, all right? No one gets that in return from you if you claim to be a living sacrifice. And when I use the word no one, that's the Greek word for what? No one. Medini. No one. Not anyone gets that. And you know what? How about we start the process by not just not repaying them, how about we don't ever offer that to anyone anyway? Through our words, through our actions. There's something in you that should catch yourself and you go, I think that's kind of KAKOS of me. What I'm thinking of that person, what I'm about to say to that person, I'm driving with some serious KAKOS going on here today. I might need to chill out just a little bit, all right? So again, give to no one. Again, who does that include? No one. No one on the planet, all right? No one gets KAKOS from you, all right? Now, there's an issue here between justice and revenge. All right, now the state, if you commit murder, everybody okay with calling murder KAKOS? Okay, deliberate first-degree murder, that's kind of KAKOS-y, okay? Do we give that back to him? Does the state give that back to them through the form of capital punishment? Yeah. Now, but let's be careful. Is that justice or is that revenge? It's justice. And who is empowered by the laws of this country to remedy that situation with justice? You? Not me. There's no law on the books anywhere that says Joseph Allen Rainwater shall be allowed to exact revenge on anyone who shows him KAKOS. Now, the state can do this, all right, but we can't. Yes, my name is Joseph Allen Rainwater, in case you didn't know that, all right? Somebody will look at me like, whoa, I didn't know that was your real name, all right? Yes, okay? So, and we'll talk about this a little bit more next week. All right? But you need to understand, this is a reaction, right? So if this is sort of that third leg of the triad, it's how am I reacting to this? And how do I get to the point where I don't give to no one KAKOS for KAKOS? How do I handle this well in my day? Well, what if I got up this morning and renewed my mind to the beauty of the cross and thought, you know what? This is the person I'm going to be. I'm the Lord's slave, all right? And I'm on fire heading out of the house, and KAKOS, boom, smacks me right in the face. And then what do? KAKOS right back at him, right? Not if I got up that morning and renewed my mind. Not if I said I am the Lord's slave and I'm passionate about what God is going to do. So what happens when KAKOS hits? Now I'm ready for it, okay? Keep going. Let's go to the second phrase. Try to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. Okay? Now, I talked last week about how you translate the Bible. Sometimes the Bible is translated literally, all right? They go, here's this word, the Greek word, make this English word, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes they take the phrase and we go, well, this will be the effect of this. So this try to do has absolutely nothing with the literal phrase here, okay? The literal phrase is pro noeo, all right? Pro means before. Everybody with me? Yes? You go, okay, y'all got to give me a little bit. Pro and noeo means your mind, all right? Metanoia is to change your mind, to repent, to change your mind. Pro noeo, is that mean try to do something? Pro, before, with my mind. Is anyone going, oh, you should translate that as try to do? Is anybody there? No, good, all right? Pro, before, noeo, mind, to think, means what? If I want to think about something beforehand, if I want to, what word can you put in here? Forethought, good. What else? To pause. Well, that's doing nothing. It's smart, but it's not. If I'm thinking beforehand or processing, mindful beforehand, I'm being proactive. Very good. What? Pondering, contemplating. I'm circumspect. All right. I'm devising a plan. Because what does the rest say? Look at it. Try to do, or let's put our thoughts to this beforehand. Let's be circumspect about this proactively. Give forethought, all right, to what is honorable or kalos in whose eyes? Everyone's eyes. All men. All right, now that's a literal translation. You can go with the men, women, humanity, whatever word you want to throw on that. All right? Can you imagine doing something so awesome, beautiful, excellent, that everyone goes, oh yeah, gotta give it up for that one. I mean, that was just so awesome. That was so obviously awesome. That was an amazing. And you're doing what? Because you saw it on Facebook and you saw it on YouTube, and what are you doing with it now? Oh, I got to share that. I got to put that on Facebook, all right? I got to share that because why? Because it's so awesome that everybody should see this. Everyone should see how awesome, kalos, beautiful this guy was, okay? So here's it. During your day, KAKOS hits you, and do not, no one gets your KAKOS in return. Where is this in the day? Think beforehand, plot, devise, scheme to do something so awesome that if somebody videoed it, everyone in the world would share it on FaceTime. Everyone would be on YouTube putting it out there because it was so awesome. Now, is that proactive or is that reactive? Pro, all right? What's the perfect date? Can you imagine setting up Jeff, are you good at this? You created the perfect date. Now, some of you in your mind went to Miss Congeniality and you're thinking April 25th. I know it's April 25th. Trust me, I know. I've seen the movie, okay? And I know you've seen the movie, all right? So, but the perfect, Amber, did he ever really think through, plot, scheme, the perfect date, absolute kalos, so much so that you told everyone you could think of about how awesome this was, and everybody went, that was so awesome. We'll just say yes. Yes? All right, good. So now, did you just sort of do that on the fly? Did you just sort of reactively plan that? No, it takes work these days. My goodness, with Pinterest and all this other stuff. I mean, good night to get engaged these days. I am so glad I'm 31 years into this down the road, all right? Because this is too much work, man. I mean, just asking some girl to prom. Oh my goodness, it's a production, all right? You need a whole film crew to do this these days, where we were like, hey, you want to go to prom? Cool. All right, bye. All right, that was it, all right? The engagement. Did anybody do anything like really awesome engagement? Or are y'all like boring like us? All right? So, and you've seen all these online. So Ashley and I got engaged March 12th, 94, okay? So it was spring break, beginning of spring break, and I'm thinking, I love this place called Alligator Point, all right? And I know that sounds about as backwoods deliverance as you can get, but it's in Florida. It's a beach. There's nothing on it. It's just houses. I grew up there. My aunt and uncle had a beach house there, so we were there every other weekend, 45 minutes from Tallahassee. So I grew up there. We're coming home for spring break. I mean, Ashley and I have been dating 4 months, okay? I literally picked up the ring on the way to her dorm to pick her up to drive back to Tallahassee to our house. Mom and Dad live there, all right? And we're going there, and I've got it all set up. I've got the ring in my pocket. I checked for the ring about 4,000 times to make sure it was still in my pocket, even though it was 4 seconds earlier. And so you're just doing this thing, all right? And we go to this restaurant down on the coast, the Oaks restaurant, which is closed down now and all that stuff. It was good food, all right? Some family are there, and I'm like, hey, Mom, Dad, Ashley and I are going to go on down to the beach and just hang out on the beach. I haven't been to Alligator Point in a while. I just want to get my toes in the sand, blah, blah, blah. While the whole time, I've got it all plotted out, all right? I got the ring. I got the blanket thing. We're going to go out on the beach. It's going to be an awesome moonlit night. We're going to walk down this path. I know exactly where to park. We're going to go down there. I'm going to propose. It's going to be awesome. See, in my mind, I had a way that this was going to go, okay? So if you've seen Hitch, the movie Hitch, he goes, I saw that differently in my mind. So I've got it all thought out, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be beautiful. She's going to tell all of her friends. It's just going to be awesome. So we get down there, and I'm cruising down in the Camry, and we get to this place, and it's a perfect spot. But here's the problem. There was no moon that night. And Alligator Point is not exactly the resort mecca of Florida, and there are no lights anywhere, okay? So Ashley grew up in Amarillo, not real familiar with beach, all right? And so we pull up, and it's like I have this all planned. I've got the blanket there. I've got all this stuff, and we're going to go out there. It's going to be awesome. Uh-oh, no moon. So it's like walking literally in the dark, okay? No lights whatsoever. So Ashley sees about 20 yards ahead, and all she sees is a path about this wide and sea oats on either side. Well, I know the path. I've walked this path 1,000 times. I know what's on the other side. Ashley's sitting in the camera going, I am not getting out of this car. I am not going down there. I am not going to do this. And I'm sitting there going, I am not proposing in the Camry, okay? That is just not happening. So I finally talk her into, and I say, okay, I'll go walk down. So I'm like walking to prove that it's okay, that it's safe. She's worried about burglars, all right? Yeah, on this random beach in the middle of the night, all right? And sharks, that's always an option because shark could get you at any moment. And so I walk down there, and I'm sitting there thinking, I've planned this out so well. I put so much forethought into this beautiful moment, and she's not going to get out of the Camry, all right? So I finally go get her. I have to piggyback her all the way, like 60 yards down to the beach. By the time we get down there, I'm like, I'm tired. Lay out the blanket and everything, and the whole time she's looking for, sharks, crabs, people coming to rob us on this random beach in the middle of the night, all right? And there's one house that's about a half mile away, and it has a light bulb on the back porch. That's the only light we have. And so I can barely see her, and I've just got all this planned out, and I proposed to her, and she's like, wait, what? What'd you just say? Because she's looking for sharks. And so and I have a picture of us on the beach in this moment, but I had it so well thought out. Why? Because I wanted it to be special. all right? Because I was in love with this woman, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, and I wanted to be special. I gave all this forethought to it. Now, here's my question to you. How much time do you spend each morning thinking about how beautiful you want to be in the life of someone in your life for that 24-hour period? Zero, right? In response to that cross, you don't. This is why Paul says, give thought to being beautiful, KALOS, excellent, in everyone's eyes. So imagine what it means to wake up that morning, renew your mind to the beauty of the cross, such that you get up going, how can I do something so amazing today that everyone will share this on Facebook? Not to be showy, but just because I love people and I want to be honorable people. I want to do something this awesome. And then when KAKOS hits me that day, I go, oh, you got nothing for me. I ain't got time for your KAKOS, all right? I'm not worried about your KAKOS. I can handle that. I'll just absorb that. Why? Because I want to do something beautiful, amazing today because of that cross. That's what it means to be a Christian. Do you understand? So tell me about your day. Tell me what you did today in light of that cross. And I would argue the problem is the reason you don't is because you didn't get up that morning to truly renew your mind to the beauty of that cross. And that's what it takes to be a living sacrifice. So don't try and end up the day well if you didn't start it well. Third phrase, if possible. If possible. I love that Paul puts this in here. Why? Because how much control do you have over your world? How much control do you have over the relationships in your life? What do you control? I control me. I control me. I control what I say, what I do, how I respond. I can control that. What about the rest of it? So Paul says, if possible, because he knows, and it literally means if you have the power, if dunatos, if you're able, if you're capable, on your part, live at peace with everyone. Now, this on your part literally means ek hutos, out of yourself. So what comes out of me? My thoughts, my words, my actions. All of these things are what I control. So as a living sacrifice, I get up, I renew my mind to the beauty of that cross, the mercies of God, and I want to go, I want to be holy today. I want to be well-pleasing to God. I want to get to the end of this day and go, yeah, I did it all. I checked all the boxes, man. I didn't leave anything on the table today. That's who I want to be. So if I will get up, if possible, out of me today, I'm going to live at peace with every man. Panta anthropos, all people. I'm going to live at peace with them out of me. And you get that when you wake up that morning and renew your mind to the beauty of that cross. And you have this mentality of, I'm going to live at peace with every man. And it's a posture you take into your world, giving forethought to what? What can I do that will just be so awesome it's not even funny? What can I do? What can I say? How can I relate? What text can I send today? What email can I send today? What phone call can I make today? How can I compliment someone? How can I be in the life of someone today? What can I do? And I'm thinking about it, and I'm hitting life, and all of a sudden, boom, life smacks you upside the head, literally maybe, with some KAKOS. And you go, oh, please. You said something mean to me? You think that's going to take me off of my game that I pulled in this morning? And the passion I have to be beautiful today? I have this passion to be beautiful in the lives of everyone, and you're going to hit me with a little bit of mean word? Please. You got to bring more than that. You got to come with more than that to throw me off my game, because you don't know what I woke up to this morning and renewed my mind to. It's that cross. You think your silly little words are going to take me off the cross? Nah, you got to do better than that. Because no one gets my KAKOS. No one gets that response from me. Jesus talks about this. Go to Matthew 5. In Matthew 5, in the part of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus has a section in Matthew 5, I call it Torah on steroids. And it always has this phraseology to it. You have heard it was said, and when he's saying that, he's speaking to a Jewish audience, and they have heard it was said because who heard it, and who did they hear it from? Good Jewish people heard it from the rabbi at synagogue, all right, or someone read it to us. So he's quoting the Old Testament, and then he's going to say, but I say to you, translation, I dare you to do it this way, though. We have the Lord's Prayer, and it's a very polite prayer if you just say it politely. But if you really think about the words, it'll mess you up. I don't call it the Lord's Prayer, I call it the Lord's Dare. I think Jesus said, I dare you to pray like this. I dare you to pray, give me this day my daily bread. Not my monthly provision of bread so I don't have to worry about it. Not so I don't have to trust. Forgive me like I forgive other people. You want to pray that way? Seriously? The way you forgive people? And that's how you want to be forgiven? I think Jesus is going, all right, we can roll that way. But in Matthew 5, verse 38, he says, you have heard it was said, repay or give back an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Now, what that meant, this is in Exodus 21. It essentially is saying this. If an injury happens to you, whatever happened to you, the limit, the maximum amount of justice you can give back to that person is the harm that was brought to you. So if someone hits me in the eye, I lose my eye, I can go up to the point of causing them to lose their eye. Now, by definition, what does that mean? I can't go beyond that, right? So the Bible's so smart. The Bible's saying, here's the limit. So you can't take justice off the rails, and you can't kill somebody because you lost an eye, all right? You lost a tooth, all right? They can lose a tooth, no more, all right? So this is the idea. Verse 39 says, but I tell you, don't resist an evil person, an evildoer, a poneros, all right? Someone who does evil, all right? And by this don't resist, it literally means don't take your stand opposite them. Don't stand up to them and go, no, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to do this. Now, be careful. Trust me, just let me kind of explain the metaphors, because it's not being this passive person that just allows evil to run rampant in your society. Okay, that's not the point. That's not what he's saying at all. Okay, so watch the examples. On the contrary, and I want you to see how personal these things are. All right, when someone KAKOS, what do they get back from you? All right, that's what I want you thinking. All right, on the contrary, instead of resisting the evil person, if anyone slaps you, where? Which cheek? The right cheek. Okay, so if someone slaps you on the right cheek, all right, come here, Evan. We're going to shoot for it to see who gets to do the slapping. No. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to demonstrate. I'm not, kind of. All right, so right cheek, right? So if I slap him on the right cheek, his face turns down. Now, naturally, he's still showing me the same cheek, right? Right? So, but hang on. What does Jesus say? If someone slaps you on the right cheek, what should you do? Keep the right cheek turned to them? No. Y'all stay with me. If I hit him here, for him to give me the other cheek, what does he have to do? Does he have to do anything? Hang on. Does he have to do anything? Yeah, because naturally he's already there. But now he has to deliberately do what? Turn this one. All right? You see, I just wanted you to see that, because it's not good. Thanks you. All right? It's not this idea that, you know what, he hit me on the right cheek and I just don't do anything. No, it's literally to go, okay, you hit me there, okay, and I'm not going to resist you. I'm not going to stand against you. I'm going to demonstrate to you that you can't harm me by giving you my other cheek as well. And if that's what you want to do, that's on you. But I'm going to show something bigger. Next phrase. As for the one who wants to sue you, all right? So have they done it yet? You with me? Say with the language. If someone wants to sue you, they're in their mind, they're not thinking how beautiful they want to be in your life today. Amen? They're not thinking how KALOS. wants to sue you and take something away. Take away your what? Your shirt, literally the garment you wear next to your skin, okay? What does he say? Give him your shirt? No, he says what? Let him have your coat, your outer garment, as well. You want to mess somebody up? Let them slap you. Have them, if they slap you on your cheek, go, you want this one too? Who's in control at this moment? Somebody's going to look at you and go, boy, you ain't right. What is wrong with you? You're different. You're holy. You're other. And they want to sue this, and before they even get to court, you go, oh, you want my shirt? All right. You want my coat too? Here you go. This guy might be in therapy for years, going, I wanted to sue this guy and take his shirt, and all of a sudden he's got his coat, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this. Third example. 41. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, 1,000 paces, 1 mile, all right, go with him 2. Now, this is what an old Persian practice of being a mail courier. In Persia, ancient Persia, they could impress someone into carrying a package or something for a mile, and then that person would impress somebody else, and then so it does that sort of post office thing, all right? So he's saying if a Roman, theoretically, forces you, impresses you to go 1 mile, don't stop at 1,000 paces. Keep going. Again, what's happening? Who's in control at this moment, all right? Are you exuding weakness in this moment? Jeff, if you come slap me on the cheek and I go, all right, you want that one too? Who's strong in this moment? If you want to sue me and take this, and I give you even more, who's strong? If you want to press me into service for 1 mile, and I go 2 just because I can, who's weak and who's strong? But what does it take to do that? You got to get up in the morning, renew your mind, not to the scheme of this world, amen? Because the scheme of this world says what happens when someone hits you, when someone harms you, when someone slanders you, when someone talks bad about you, when someone does something to harm you. KAKOS. What does the scheme of this world do? You're getting it back. I'm going to get you back. I'm going to pay you back, all right? You know why? Because you're weak. Because you treasure the things of this world more than you treasure the testimony you can have for Christ. Don't be that. Don't be conformed to this scheme. But be transformed. How? I get up this morning when God's mercies are new every morning, and I renew my mind to the beauty of that cross and all that Christ endured in that moment, right? Father, forgive them. They know not what they do, as they're driving the nails into his hand. You want KAKOS? That's KAKOS. And to give forgiveness in that moment. Is that KALOS? What's it take? You have to trust God. You have to trust God with the outcome. Because if you trust yourself, you're going to lean on your own understanding. And that's going to go well, right? That always goes well, right? When I respond, when I react to something, and I do it with the scheme of this world, it always turns out perfectly, right? No, it's a train wreck. We all know that. But how beautiful is it when someone trusts God in spite of the affliction, in spite of the KAKOS, in spite of the slander, in spite of the harm, and they go, I'm going to love you anyway. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. That's our example right there. We have to trust God in those moments. You know why? Because 2 Chronicles 16:9 says, the eyes of the Lord look to and fro, all throughout the earth, looking for someone whose heart is fully devoted to him. You got to trust God because his eyes are looking and he's paying attention. And he will take care of it at the end. And we'll talk about that next week. All right? Let's pray. Father, give us the strength. Give us the strength to get up in the morning, to do this right, so we can stay on the altar, glorifying and honoring you. Don't let us crawl off this altar on this one. Father, let us understand no one gets harm from us. It doesn't matter what's happened. It doesn't matter what they've done. In fact, we have that moment when they do something harmful to us to show them kalos, to show them excellence, to show them beauty, and to show them the honor and the beauty of what it looks like when someone's a living sacrifice to the God who saved them. So, Father, may we be those people. May we be the people that honor you over and over and over again, because we woke up that morning and renewed our mind to all the goodness and mercy and beauty. And we plotted out the beautiful things we're going to do that day. And we didn't hesitate in those moments, and we just went for it. And even when life hits us, we just plow right through it and trust you, God, because we know your eyes are watching. And you want to be strong for us when our hearts are completely devoted to you. So, Father, may we be those people today. May we be those people this week. People who are absolutely untouchable by the KAKOS of this world, because we have such a desire to follow in the beautiful kalos that you showed us at Calvary.